I had to find a place where I can get out of the wind. It's really windy today, which is a good thing because that just means that it is spring and warm weather is on the way. We're gonna take a little dip for the next 2 days in temperature, and then it's gonna come up on the weekend. Spring in the Great Plains is always like this. Actually, our whole winter has been like this. Time for an update. So I haven't really been around out here as much as I usually am during the summer months. Gary's been keeping pretty busy, kind of recovering the farm from that storm we had in December. Here it comes. Get, go. A while back we went and collected all this tin that had blown down to the pond and generally just made a mess. It's the remainder of the chimney that we had just put in. Overall, things are looking pretty good. He had a company come out and put a roof on the shed. We still need to work on the doors. I think we're just gonna kind of seal that up for the most part and leave it so that we could open it if we wanted to. Let's go inside, I'll show you what Gary's been working on. Got a handful of projects we need to get done this spring before we get into planting too much. Hopefully the lights in here are cooperating. About these kind of janky LED lights, and they don't work very well up there. At least the connection's not very good. Gary cleaned all the corner up, and he went out and bought this this paneling from the hardware store. It's the cheapest stuff we could get because we were just kind of trying to mitigate dust. He has an appointment this morning. We're gonna probably go up there and put those two pieces in. Yet we ran out of paneling yesterday. We got the stove reattached, which will be really nice. We'll have 2 layers of curtain here like we did before tarps. Just looped at the bottom with the chain laying through there to kind of keep it down flat. With that, there's enough of an air gap that with this Lincoln stove over here going, it gets plenty warm in here. Pretty easy to get that thing up 600 degrees. Well, you fire it up an hour or two before you want to come out and work on something. Good hoodie and some gloves and a hat maybe, and you're good to go. Doesn't this look fun? So this project over here, this is our 6700 sprayer. You can see it's obviously blocked up there on the front. These cylinders to the wheels here have been leaking really bad. Take that wheel off probably, and then all of this right there. Unbolt that, take this whole assembly out so we can get this off of here, pull that cap, and fix that cylinder. Now, he's got seal kits somewhere here in the shop. So we'll do that one, put that one back on, and then we'll move over to this other side and do that one, and that will make it ride a lot better. You can tell they've been leaking. We just been putting kitty litter underneath those cylinders while they're here in the shop just to try to keep the floor from being greasy and slippery. And that monitor up there, I think we got that monitor up in there that we took into the shop. That shop is kind of halfway working. We're not really sure. I think we might have to be spraying old school by just doing the math and adjusting ground speed, which is kind of a waste of piece of equipment. But that box, for some reason, everybody says everything's working on it right. Everything we test on it says that it's working right, but it's clearly not working right. And when you take it to John Deere or any of these places, they're kids and they're like, what's that? I took it into one John Deere guy and he told me to look it up on a Facebook forum. I was like, you are the John Deere tech guy. Another one is, you can see we got this jacked up, supported with a board. Look at all that leaking up there. Those cylinders need to be redone. These lift cylinders need to be redone. We also on this one have an engine leak, like engine oil. But the problem with that is it's somewhere up in there. So in order to do that, we have to pop this tank out, which is not terribly hard when it's empty. It slides in on 2 rails. I don't even know if you can see in there, but it slides in on 2 brackets, and then you just kind of clamp it down. But we're gonna push that back out, crawl up in here, and you just can't see anything. and try and track down where that engine oil leak is. Problem is, between that and then it's like a leak in your house. It'll be leaking in the kitchen and this from the ceiling somewhere, but the leak is actually on the other end of the house where it's leaking over the porch and then running down a rafter, hitting a wire, going down the wire, pooling up, and then dropping through your roof. So the leak could be like 20 feet away, but it's ending up in your kitchen somehow. Sorry, it's kind of a long intro getting back into farming. So I figured you probably need an update. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Last fall, at the end of the season, or towards the end of the season, I messed up. I backed the tractor up and a little too hard, and I broke the connector that goes between the monitor in the cab and the planter itself. Actually, I think if I look over here, I think he had one that I could show you. I can't find what I was looking at to show you, so we'll just go out there and I'll show you while I'm doing it. Just want to take a minute for those of you out there that have subscribed to the channel and have been watching like hockey games and stuff like that. That's not all I do on here. It's honestly just kind of a mix of everything I do throughout the year. So, I mean, hockey season in the middle of winter, that's pretty much what's going on all the time is hockey. Now we're going into planting season, so there's gonna be farming, there's gonna be bicycling, different things. So the channel changes, I guess, by the season. So I apologize for those of you that thought this was all gonna be about hockey, or people that thought it was all gonna be about farming and then had to watch hockey or whatever. That being said, back to the video. So these cables here, this is a monitor that tells what rows are planting and what rows aren't, and what's on and what's off. These cables go down here, and then when we're planting, we just run them through this little hole. It's kind of nice. Back in the day, you had to open your window and then just like let your window open. It kind of cracked. Some genius came up with that. Thank you, genius. Appreciate it. So I'm gonna take that whole kit and caboodle out. Probably gonna take it out to the same place that we had that monitor box from the sprayer last summer. I think we're gonna take it out there and just let them monkey with it. So all the wires get plugged in the way they're supposed to. They're all little bitty things and they're just a pain in the butt. Maybe they're not a pain in the butt. They seem like they'd be a pain in the butt because they're thin and there's a bunch of them and you get the wrong one in the wrong hole and soldered it in, whatever. I have a feeling they'll just be annoying and a pain. So we're just gonna throw money at it and have them rebuild this cable. Sometimes finding the location of the tools is half the battle. There's nowhere to really put you in here. I don't know how you're gonna see this. I think we're gonna have to revisit this. Not that it's hard or anything, but he kind of wanted to keep this box mounted, but the problem is the wire that comes out of this also goes into that, and they meet in this. I'm gonna take another look at it, see if I can actually get it out without. No, you can't, because that's fused in, that's wired in, that's hardwired, that's hardwired, and that splits into this. So if one comes off, both have to come off, but I think I'm gonna let him make that decision because he's the one that put it up there. And I know it annoyed the crap out of him when he was trying to remount it. Here's something stupid. We moved this yesterday, and for some reason, all the drawers are fine, except for this one. I think there's something wedged in there, so like you can't, what's in there? Large wrenches. Yeah, large wrench, big wrenches. So I think there's one wedged in the back. I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to unwedge it. Hey, there it goes. Got it. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back on here and remove this whole bracket. I kind of forgot this this bar that comes out here. I kind of forgot that it ends like right here, so I can just remove the whole thing. Work smarter, not harder. Still need to learn that one. always wondered what that pocket was for. Right now it's gonna hold my nuts and bolts. All right, let's see what we got here. Good job, wrench. You stay down there. All right, well, the box is free. Now to figure out this cable mess. Oh, here's what I was talking about. Not the bottle brush. This. Look at that. Look at all those little wires in there. And this whole thing needs to be redone. I broke that off. What a mess. I don't even know if you can see that. Can you see that? That seems like more crap than either of us wants to deal with, so we're just gonna have a professional do it. So we got that control box out of the tractor, and now I'm just kind of waiting. It's around lunchtime, a little after. Gary had an appointment this morning, and he went in and bought the last 2 panels that we're gonna put up in the shop here to kind of mitigate that fiberglass situation. And right now I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. Well, we got the tire off. Now, we got that cap off up there. This whole thing needs to come off. And we'll drop it down off the bottom. And these need to come out. And that. But those are on there harder than I can pull. I don't know if we have a air gun that'll work on those right now. Jesus Christ.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, my break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never like those. She's on the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back, bro. All I really take is a little taste. I like girl blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe at a getaway. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all got the shimmy for weight. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the time, got time for no day. Too many
These nuts do not want to move.
Bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that. Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good times. Live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessive nature, not a world mind.
Stay there, Rich.
The room is spinning, but I feel fine.
Ow. That's how you crush your fingers. That felt awesome.
Yellow light, I gotta speed up. Get home to a cold shower. Need that pronto. Look like a rave at the condo. Heck of a night in Toronto. She said, boy, you in Morocco. Pearl white mention in the top gold. Fill up my cup with the pop, whoa. High off life in the spot, dope. Running at the visa, really talking to a real life Mona Lisa. Jesus pieces hanging off the fleecer. So much going on, it's hard to focus on the features. I got too many, I'm going. Too crazy, and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that.
No, that's not the app.
Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good times. Live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessive nature, not a world mind. The room is spinning, but I feel fine. Oh my, oh my.
We'll call that a day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and do all the thing with the buttons down below. And YouTube words, YouTube words, YouTube words. See you tomorrow.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those.